What's going on, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and welcome to episode 23 of Ask the King, the series where I answer your forum and Twitter questions. If you would like to submit a question for the next episode of Ask the King, you can go to my forums at thekingofhate.com, and in there is a whole section for Ask the King where you can submit your questions. I already have a thread up for next month's episode for the end of May. And also you can follow me on Twitter at TheyCallMeDSP, and the day that I actually film the episode, I actually post up on there that I'm accepting Twitter questions. I take some of the best ones to answer in the episode. So today is April 26, 2012, and let's get started. And as a preface, before we even start the episode, I want to have an update for everyone. Due to a lot of different factors, one of which being actually fan requests, I have finally set up an official Facebook page, okay? Now, what I did is I set up a Facebook account and also a Facebook fan page. I'm not sure which is better. I'm not sure what's what. They're basically linked, so whatever I put on one is going to show up on the other anyway. If you want to check them out, my official Facebook account is facebook.com/TheyCallMeDSP. And then the Facebook fan page is actually facebook.com/TheyCallMeDSP1. So you can check out either one. I believe that if you like the fan page, it's like almost like following me on Twitter or on YouTube. If you subscribe to the account, that means that you're going to get all my updates and things that way as well. You can, if you want, send me a friend request. Personally, right now I am accepting all friend requests, but I heard that there's a cap of like 4,000 on Facebook, and so I have no doubt that over the next couple of weeks, I'm sure that's going to max out. And therefore, I'm not sure if a friend request is the best thing to do. The account is going to be for business purposes. Just like my Twitter account is for business purposes, that's what the Facebook account is going to be for. It's not going to be for me to gab with my real-life friends or anything like that. It's just for YouTube business purposes. So I know a lot of people have complained over the past couple of years that, oh, Phil uses Twitter, but I hate Twitter. I refuse to use Twitter, but I have a Facebook. Why doesn't he do it? I finally created it. This is going to be your source for seeing, you know, every day I'll post up, here's a new video, here's an update, yada, yada, yada. That's what this page is for. So there'll be no more confusion. You won't have to go watch, is this fan page real? Is this really DSP's page? Does this guy update this fan page on this and that? You don't have to worry about those pages anymore, okay? I made my own. That's the only one you have to follow. So I just wanted to get that out in the open. People have asked me previously, even on Ask the King, will I ever have a Facebook page? I finally just had to cave and say, alright, here we go. It's in my best interest to do it, so it exists, okay? I will be talking about this in future videos. I'm actually probably going to do a channel update soon about it exclusively. So, just so you know, you're the first people to hear about it outside of the people who are following me on Twitter, okay? So, without further ado, let's get into it. You're going to notice that this week there's a lot of questions that are common questions, meaning many people ask the same question, and so I'm just going to say, this was a common question, here's my answer, rather than say, these 7 particular people asked this question, okay? Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. First question. Hey Phil, there have been all these movie remakes of already existing movies that were made by Hollywood. Many of the fans have been pretty much going, you know, what the fuck? Can't you find some originality in what you put out? And I'm curious on your opinion of all of these remakes. One example would be the A-Team. And that's from Alexander Nikolavich Hell. Alright, and here's the thing. Remakes are always going to exist. There's remakes, reimaginings, you know what I mean, of classic plots all the time. I mean, how many movies have we seen about Dracula, about Frankenstein, about the classic movie monsters? How many times have we seen very similar themes in movies? For example, Dances with Wolves versus, I'm trying to think of what the interim one was. I can't remember, but Avatar. Avatar is Dances with Wolves. It's the same movie. Like, if you actually watch certain movies, you'll notice, haven't I seen this before? And you realize it's the same fucking plot. They just rewrite it with a different setting and different circumstances, but it's the same story. So there's that kind of remake. But then there's also direct remakes. So we're talking about, alright, like he mentions, the A-Team. There was a TV series called the A-Team. All of a sudden now they make it into a movie 100 years later. Why did they do that? My perfect example here would be Spider-Man. They just made a trilogy of Spider-Man movies not even a decade ago, and now they're redoing Spider-Man. And you gotta say, alright, enough is enough. At what point do you put your foot down and say, I'm not fucking gonna go shell out money for the same fucking movie. And yeah, of course, the new Spider-Man movie is different. Now it features the Lizard as the antagonist, and it's the story of him as a teenager growing up. But it's the same fucking character, and how many times can you rewrite the same fucking story just to make a buck, okay? So I understand where his frustration is coming from. At the same time, I think that remakes are an important way to take classic stories and refresh them, reinvigorate them, present them to a new audience, okay? Let's be honest, if they remade Dances with Wolves today, I don't think it would appeal to the mainstream audience. But when you remake it as Avatar with aliens and it's in space, it's futuristic, all of a sudden everyone thinks it's the best movie ever and it ends up being the highest grossing movie ever made at that time. So I can understand having these themes coming back and wanting to rejuvenate classic stories like the Dracula formula and such. Personally, in my personal opinion, I think it's getting played out. I think that there really has been a stagnance. Stagnance? Is that even a word? Stagnation, that's the word I'm looking for. A stagnation in Hollywood especially. There's just no originality. No one's been able to write an epic story that has translated well into a movie, or that hooked the interest of the audience to the point where it was a success, at least in recent years. You see a lot of really cheesy romantic comedies, really crappy, raunchy, stupid comedies that no one really cares about. They go laugh once and you never see the fucking movie again. And then you've got these, you know, again, re-releases, remakes of movies that are just abundant. And of course you're always going to have your typical action, you know, fighting blockbuster with lots of explosions. I think men love to go see those kind of movies. But it really is sad. Where is the originality? Why aren't there a whole new slew of movies, a whole new slew of characters that are being successful? We're not seeing that. What we're seeing is people saying, fuck, it ain't working. Go back to these characters from 20 years ago that people liked back then. Maybe they'll still remember them for some nostalgic factor, and they'll go see the movie. So I completely agree with what he's saying. At the same time, I don't think it's ever going to go away. I think it's a proven moneymaker for Hollywood to do a remake or do a re-release or whatever you want to call it, a reimagining of these classic plot lines. It is a way to present them to a new audience, so it kind of is a double-edged sword. Alright, now we're going to go through the common questions, things that a lot of people asked me, okay? And the first one, oddly enough, is people asking me my political views, people asking me my religious views. Some people directly asked me, gee, who are you going to vote for in the Connecticut political primaries? Some other people were like, oh, what's your religion? Why don't you ever talk about religion in your videos, and what are your religious beliefs, alright? These are the kind of things I'm very rarely, if ever, going to touch upon. And the reason is it has absolutely nothing to do with the reason why I'm on YouTube. It really has nothing to do with the content of my videos. My videos are primarily gaming-based, okay? Video games. So if you see a political issue related to video games, such as the SOPA and PIPA bills last year that were threatening to shut down video gaming videos on the internet completely, that's when you'll see me speak out about stuff. But I'm not the kind of person who is trying to use YouTube as a soapbox for every issue where I'm going to stand up and say, I think this about this, and I think that about that, and this is right, and that is right. In no way, shape, or form do I feel like my opinion is more important than anyone else's, and I don't think that I should use YouTube as a way to say, this is my opinion and you should agree with me because I'm right. I'm not that kind of person, and it's unfortunate because you do see a lot of lawmakers, a lot of religious leaders who take that stance. We're right, you're wrong. If you disagree, well, you're evil, or you're wrong, or bad. I think it's a horrible attitude to take in life, and that you should always have an open mind and consider all possibilities in everyone's perspective. So, for me, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I'm voting for this guy, or, oh, this is my religious belief on this. That's not what I'm here for. I don't want to misconstrue anything that I say to be misconstrued or even to influence someone. I think you should have your own opinions, and you should find the time to be informed about these issues yourself and make your own judgments. I don't want the fact that I'm here on YouTube and you watch my content to be an influence on you, because I don't think that would be fair, especially since that's not what I'm aiming to do while in my existence here on YouTube. So that's as far as I'm going to go with that. I'm not going to talk about political or religious issues unless it's something pertinent to gaming, okay? The next question. A lot of people have been asking me, and so I'm just checking for time, by the way, because I have a timer on here. A lot of people have been asking me, Phil, are you going to do a condo tour anytime soon? Usually once a year you do a tour of your condo showing us the models and things that you have, if you've had any improvements or whatever, your decorations and such. And actually, a couple of weeks back I mentioned that I had to get a new car because my previous car it crapped the bed. It was pouring oil everywhere. The window was gone. I had no window on my passenger side. The thing was falling apart. It was on its last leg, so I had to run to a dealership and get a car within 1 day. In 2 hours, I got a new car. I closed the deal. How crazy is that? So, people are asking me, can we see your new car? Now, here's the thing. Just recently, just last week, I put out a video that was a channel update regarding a YouTube bug. And what it was is I discovered that YouTube views, and this is still the case, YouTube views are delayed, meaning they're not updating properly. Some videos seem to be locked. Some videos for as long as 2 days aren't getting the proper views reflected on the video. If you use tools like YouTube Analytics, which is my personal tool to see how my videos are performing on a daily basis, I can see that 2 days ago, my video had as many views as it's showing right now. So it really is delayed for whatever reason. So I made this video, and I got an amazing backlash from people in the comments saying, all you care about is YouTube views. Why are you telling us this? This has nothing to do with us. You've sold out. All you care about is money. To which I was like, whoa, why did I get that response? I've always made videos about YouTube bugs. I even made a point to show that over 2 years ago, before I ever made a penny on YouTube, I made videos about YouTube bugs, and incidentally, one of the ones I made was about YouTube view counts being wrong. So I've always kind of been like the person who, if there's something wrong with YouTube, I want to inform my viewers, my subscribers of those issues going on. It might not directly affect you personally, but I'm sure there's some of you out there are affected and want to know about it. And it seems like now attitudes have shifted. It seems like because now I'm in a position where YouTube is my livelihood. I make money on every video I put out. And people know this. And I'm doing pretty well for myself, that a lot of people are taking things that I previously would have said and taking it in a different light, okay? And I understand how that can happen. I absolutely do. And I apologize for anyone who's misconstrued something that I said, because I'm not all about the money. I don't feel I'm a sellout, and I don't think I'm always talking about making money or views or complaining about that or anything like that. Just in particular, that happened at that time, and it just kind of rubbed people the wrong way. So let me put it this way. That being said, and that just happening, do you really think that right now is a pertinent time for me to do a condo tour to show off my new car? I don't think so. So, will I maybe do those things in the future? Possibly, but I understand that over time, people's attitudes change, people's conceptions and perceptions of things change. Being that you know that I make my money off of YouTube, is it fair for me in a time when I know there's a bad economy, a lot of people are struggling to keep their jobs, a lot of people are struggling to even find a job and make ends meet. Oh, by the way, here's a cool thing that I just got, ha ha ha, look at me, I'm making money and you're not. And of course that's not the intention of the videos. I'm just trying to share some cool stuff with you guys, because I think that you enjoy, you know, seeing the stuff that I'm able to get, you know, based off my YouTube career, but I don't think it's the appropriate time right now to be doing that kind of stuff. So will there be a time when the condo tour, and you know, I'll show you my car and all that, possibly, but not right now. It's not the right time. Another common question, people asking me, what gaming conventions will I be attending? Well, very soon, meaning within 2 months, is Too Many Games, which is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We'll be there the whole weekend, 15th through the 17th of June 2012. And when I say we, I mean myself, John Rambo, OJ, and Panda Lee. We're all going to be there. And we're going to have a vendor table. It's been determined we're going to have a vendor table there. So we'll be doing Project 7 stuff. There'll be a panel for Project 7. We're probably going to release some exclusive footage. If not a whole episode, we'll be screening it there. In fact, that might be where we screen episode 4 before its official release. So, check it out. The website's toomanygames.com. Check it out, okay? Now, another question I got is from a couple people, actually a bunch of people who live in Europe, is will I ever be traveling abroad? Will I ever go to Europe? Because I have a huge following over there. People mentioned, will you ever go to like the Eurogamer convention? Is it a possibility in the future? Absolutely. I don't want to write anything out. But right now, I'm actually struggling just to find conventions in the United States to attend. And I'll be completely honest, it's not like when I went to MagFest that I had thousands of people knocking down my door. You know what I mean? I think it's just starting. I'm starting to get to the point where if I were to tour a convention circuit, that people would turn out to hang out and say hi and to maybe see a panel or whatever. So, am I considering it? Sure, but I don't think it's anything in the near future I'm going to be doing. Maybe in a couple of years if this thing blows up even further, Project 7 becomes super popular, and you know, you want to see a panel of us and there's a massive demand over in Europe, I may do it, but right now I'm trying to even just build something here in my home country before I worry about abroad, okay? Another major occurrence that actually happened in this past month is that, if you can believe it, Hutch, who works for Machinima, who was one of the major people involved in Machinima, who was, first of all, started off just making videos for Machinima channels, ended up getting hired full-time by Machinima, and moving to LA to work with those guys. He left Machinima, meaning he actually quit his job there, and then he left YouTube altogether, okay? He's gone. He's quit YouTube, okay? And people want to know, what are my feelings on this? Well, as you know, Hutch and I have a spotted history. We originally didn't even have any relation. I'd never spoken to the guy, and I had gotten a Machinima contract way back when. I think it was like late 2009, and it wasn't the partnership that I have now. It was the contract to upload videos to Machinima Respawn. And at the time, I had explained to my contact, gee, you know, I didn't think that this was going to work out, because I do playthroughs, you know, and video game playthroughs, I really doubt they're going to want to see that kind of footage on Respawn. Those are more like montage clips of first-person shooter games. It really has nothing to do with what I do. And they were like, no, it's okay, just sign the contract. And when I did, all of a sudden, I got a second contract, literally, that had all these disclaimers and rules and stuff that I had no idea were going to apply. And I said, that's it. I kind of left a bad taste in my mouth that there was like these hidden terms, okay? And I spoke about this publicly, and all of a sudden Hutch heard about it, and of course this is his livelihood, and he very, you know, actively and vividly made a video defending Machinima, saying that I'm a liar and all this, and I'm wrong, or maybe I misconstrued what was said. The bottom line is, it was a double misunderstanding. I don't think either of us knew exactly what we were talking about. I think Hutch didn't understand that I was talking about one particular program and not another, and we ended up kind of making up and squashing the beef, as they say, and we didn't really care about that anymore. It just kind of, you know, went by the wayside and never talked about it again. And then in late 2010, well, actually, I want to say late 2010, early 2011, when all the crap happened with me getting kicked out of the YouTube partnership program, then going to Blip TV, getting kicked off Blip TV because of fucking trolls and haters, I wrote Hutch a simple message on YouTube, and I said, dude, what do you guys have at this point? Are you signing people to do this full-time? Because I'm just, like, lost at this point. It's not working out, and I don't know what to do. And he put me in contact with the right people. They looked at my stuff. They liked it. They saw I had a big following. They signed me up for the Machinima partnership. And since then, everything's gone swimmingly. My life's drastically improved. So all I can say is this to Hutch. First of all, thank you so much for putting me in contact with those people. Thank you for understanding that, you know, we're both people who are pretty much trying to do the same thing. Make a living doing what we enjoy doing. And I'm glad that, you know, our little tiff there earlier didn't hinder our relationship, that later on that you put me in contact with the right people. And I'm grateful to you for doing that. So thank you so much for that. I mean, my life is crazy good now because of this, okay? I wish you the best. I obviously have no idea what the hell happened, that you left YouTube. It must not be something very good, you know what I mean? And I can kind of understand that, especially with a lot of the negativity that I get from trolls and haters. Sometimes it can build up and get to you. Now, luckily, I've stayed positive. I maintained a positive attitude, and I've overcome all this bullshit and all the roadblocks that I've come across. Just the way that it was announced, like, Hutch didn't even make, like, videos about it. It was just one video on the Machinima channel, and it was really weird, odd video. Hutch seemed kind of out of place during the video, like he was uncomfortable even being there. I don't know if there was, like, some kind of a rift between him and Machinima. Maybe there was a disagreement there. Keep in mind that he worked full-time for Machinima as a, you know, salary job, plus he made money off the views that he was uploading to his partnered channel and also to the Machinima channel. So he was making double money. He was making money for a full-time job he was working, plus money for any videos he made. And I'm wondering if somehow maybe there was a conflict there. The fact that he's completely quit YouTube kind of like blows me and throws me for a loop. Blows my mind, not blows me, but it throws me for a loop because that's residual money. Even if he just made one video a month, that's residual money he could have kept making. He's basically saying, fuck it, I'm done. I want to do something else with my life. Maybe he just became completely burnt out. I don't know what the situation is, and I could see 100 different speculations, but all I can say is this. He obviously, Hutch, you had a huge impact on YouTube, on gamers in general, and I think you had a positive influence overall, and you seem like a good person, so I wish you the best in whatever you choose to do, and hopefully things work out for you. Not sure what happened, but hopefully things are still good. Okay? Moving on. And this is going to be another common question, and I'm actually running out of time for my first video, if you can believe it, but I haven't even gotten to most of the questions. I'm just answering these common questions. Another common question, I've gotten this everywhere. I've gotten this on Twitter, I've gotten this on comments in my videos, I've gotten this in PMs on YouTube, I've gotten this in the forums for Ask the King, I got it everywhere. CISPA. It's this bill, another bill in the U.S. government, that everyone on the internet seems to be talking about, okay? Well, Phil, why aren't you talking about this? You were like the alertist for SOPA and PIPA and S.978 last year. Why aren't you talking about CISPA, alright? Very simple answer. CISPA has nothing to do with video games, with playthroughs, with YouTube. It's completely unrelated. Here's what's going on. A lot of people got involved with SOPA and PIPA last year. And I really think there was the gaming community in general, which usually doesn't get involved in these kinds of issues, because of people like me, because of other people who were speaking up about the issue, got involved, and now they're kind of involved in this community of activists. What I mean is there are some non-for-profit activist entities out there, like demandprogress.org, who was one of the major people or major organizations against SOPA and PIPA last year. You got Fight for the Future. There's like 5 or 6 of them I can talk about off the top of my head. And when you actually participated in the anti-SOPA and PIPA protests last year, you got signed up for all their mailing lists. So all of a sudden now, every little issue they want to talk about, you're getting notified about. What I need you to understand is this. Especially with politics, and this is why I don't talk about politics a lot. You need to pick and choose your fights. You need to find the ones that you think are going to have the most negative impact if it's something like this, and that's the one that you go gung-ho for. If you don't, if you do it for every single little issue, what you're going to find is that you're going to be the boy who cried wolf. You're going to be the person who's the whistleblower. All you do all day is complain about this isn't fair, that's not fair, this is wrong, that is wrong, and what you become is an alarmist. And the last thing you want to do is become an alarmist, because when you're an alarmist, you're like a car alarm. You're constantly going off, you're annoying, and no one wants to listen to you anymore. And that's definitely not what I want to become, especially with my YouTube presence here. That's not the purpose. It's not my purpose to follow every single bill that goes through the U.S. government and alarm everyone that, oh, this possibly might not be good for everyone, okay? CISPA is a bill that has to do with privacy, meaning your personal information that you give to certain companies, like YouTube, like any company that you sign up for, you pay something for, your ISP, for example, whoever gives you your internet service, that kind of stuff. And what the bill is that the government might have the ability to, get that information from those entities, okay? Is it a problem? Could it be a problem with privacy rights and all kinds of stuff like that? Absolutely. Could it lead to worse things? Absolutely. Does it have anything to do with myself, my YouTube career, or gaming? No. It's completely fucking unrelated. And so it's ridiculous. I see these videos online. CISPA is worse than SOPA and PIPA. What? It has nothing to fucking do with SOPA and PIPA. It's completely unrelated. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the same issue. So why the fuck do people have this impression that it's related? Very simple. Because the same political activists, demandprogress.org or whatever, are sending out alerts by it and saying, gee, thanks for your help last year with SOPA and PIPA. Here's something we also need help with. So people are very confused. They're scratching their heads like, I don't understand what's going on with these issues. Listen, if there's something that's important that I think will directly affect YouTube, will directly affect the video game community, I'll alert you. If there's something horrendous that's going to ruin everyone's life, I'll alert you. CISPA, although it might be a bill that might be misconstrued just like SOPA or PIPA, and it might open a can of worms that we don't want to open, has nothing to do with what I'm here to talk to you about. So I'm not going to be the alarmist and become a political activist. That's not what I'm here for. That's not my role. That's why I'm not talking about CISPA. CISPA has nothing to do with video games, so I'm not going to talk about it. And that's that. That's the end of the issue. I'm done talking about CISPA. But I will continue to alert you if I feel there are things going on that you need to know about. I'll tell you right now, I don't think CISPA is one of them. I think it's completely unrelated to anything we're really talking about, okay? Okay. 1 or 2 more questions, and then we're going to split this episode because I'm running out of time. It was perfect, actually, for the amount of questions I have. This question is from actually one person, if you can believe it, not a common question. Hi, Phil. I have a question. Why don't you review fighting games in your Hateful Truth series? I think that many fans that love fighting games would love to see your opinions on these games. You could put them up on DSP Street Fighter so that only fans that like fighting games would see them. Please let me know what you think of this idea, and that's from the Epic Gaming crew. Well, great question. He's absolutely right. I have never reviewed a fighting game, and I have a really good answer for this. The bottom line is this. I do have knowledge of fighting games. I have years of competitive experience in fighting games. And therefore, I think I have insight into fighting games that other people do not. That being said, for me to review a fighting game, I feel that it would give it a weight that if other people who weren't former professional players were to review it, that it wouldn't. You know what I mean? If I review a fighting game and Angry Joe reviews a fighting game, it's two different things. He's like a common gamer. Sure, he's a fan of fighting games, but he's not going out in pro circuits playing the games. He hasn't been in the tournament community. He hasn't played them at a high level. That's different from me. I have. So if I say something about a fighting game, chances are people listen, okay? And so, I don't want to review a game and then have the wrong impression be taken. And the reason I'm saying it is this. For me to review a game, I would need to play it at a competitive level. That's the kind of person I am. I've been around the block, and if I'm going to review it and say, Skullgirls is an 8 out of 10, you know what I mean? I want to be able to give reasons why. Well, because the combo system is complex and robust, because there's no, no infinite loops, because yeah, I don't know, there's no game-breaking bugs, yada, yada, yada. At high levels, everyone's balanced. That's the kind of review I want to give you, not what everyone else does. Everyone else, you go to a gaming magazine or whatever and you read it, it's like, well, there's a big character selection, the gameplay seems fun, there's a lot of game modes, I give it a 9. It's like, but you said nothing about the actual competitive play of the game, which is really the core of a fighting game, is it fun in a competitive atmosphere? And none of them ever say that because none of them are competitive players. So for them to review a game like that is pretty worthless. So that's what I do. I don't want to review a game and have it be worthless. If I were to review a fighting game, I would need to get super competitive in it to tell you at high levels if it's a worthy game. I have not done that in quite some time. It's time consuming, and none of these games have really gripped me. Since the original Street Fighter 4, vanilla Street Fighter 4, none of the games have gripped me enough that I wanted to try to play them in a competitive setting. So for me to review the game, it would be unfair, I wouldn't be giving it a fair shake, and my review might be skewed or incorrect. So I'm not going to review fighting games unless I finally get a huge belch out, but if I also get to a point where I get back into them competitively and I can give you from a competitive standpoint whether I think a game is good or not. For example, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's fucking horrible, okay? From a competitive standpoint, for people who have, for me, I've been around the block, the game's not very good in a competitive light. It's a one-hit kill in 99% of the situations. All you need to do is find a team where you get one combo, giant combo, canceling or tagging the next guy, continue the combo, oh, your character's dead. So wait a minute, I just lost a full character because I got hit once? That's horrible gameplay, okay? And I can give you comparisons to previous fighting games where that's happened and those games were not good in a competitive nature, and I can give you comparisons to games where that doesn't happen and that's why they're much better. So for me, in a game like that, I could review it. Am I going to review it? No, because I don't fucking care enough to even review it. That's what I mean. I really was so turned off by the Marvel 3, by all the re-releases of Capcom Fighters in the past couple of years, that I just don't even want to give them the time of day in that regard. So, it is what it is. I don't have any plans to start reviewing with hateful truths of fighting games in the near future, unless I get involved in them competitively, and I don't have any plans to do that with any of those games anytime soon. So, alright, that's it for part 1 of Ask the King. I'm coming right back with part 2. We got a ridiculous more amount of questions. Like, I didn't even get to half the questions yet. Just we had those common questions that were really important that I wanted to address because so many people were asking about them. So when we come back, even more interesting questions, so be sure to tune in. Stay tuned for part 2 of Ask the King. Thanks.